Hello, good morning, my dear students. This is Professor Anjanal here. Again, in highway engineering, we'll with the next topic. That is highway alignment and survey. So, as you know that highway alignment means alignment. Okay, you got studied in your survey also. In survey, study about the alignments. Okay. In practical survey lab also you did the alignment of the survey, and in theory also you have studied about the alignment. So here highway alignment is basically it is relating to that only. Here the position or layout of the central line of the highway on the ground is called as alignment. What is alignment? The position of layout of center line of the highway on the ground. Okay, so in our survey you did alignment of the survey. What is alignment of the survey? You are making the all the different points in one straight line, isn't it? That is what you call it is alignment, isn't it? Whatever the point, different points are there on the field, that you are making it in a straight line, right? That we call it as alignment, isn't it? So similarly, in your highway engineering, the position or layout of the center line of the highway. So center line of the highway on the ground is called as alignment. Clear? So here again it includes the two types. One is horizontal alignment, one more is the vertical alignment. Horizontal alignment is the one which is the straight path, horizontal deviation and the curves. You did this one in your where your extensive survey. In extensive, I think your extensive will be in the next semester, isn't it? Okay. In extensive we are going to study this highway alignment, that is horizontal alignment and the vertical alignment. The horizontal alignment means the crosses where junctions will be there. Whenever there is a straight road is going to running, when there is a change of that direction, that is called as horizontal alignment. The vertical alignment is the difference in level between the 2 points, that we call as vertical alignment. Okay, so in horizontal alignment, that is straight path, horizontal deviation and the curves. And in vertical alignment, change in the gradient and the vertical curves. Changes in gradient. Okay, in gradient means it is the gradient is somewhat is 1:300, 1:30 or 1:40. So changes in the gradient. When there is a sudden changes in the gradient, that is called as vertical alignment. And also you can easily understand between the RL between the 2 points is the RL between the 2 points is having differences, means it is vertical alignment in the straight line. Okay, and in a vertical curves. So this you are going to see whenever there is a passing of the canals are a small tributary tributary, what it is, river canals is you are in such cases you can see this one. So there is a path for the movement of the water, and in nowadays there is we are providing the culverts for that, so not to obstruct that one for the movement, we are providing box culverts. So in you can see in earlier olden days there will be no box culvert for movement of the water. There is a one gradient will be there, downward gradient, and there is upward gradient, so that is called as vertical alignment. So okay, there are two types of alignment. One is horizontal alignment, vertical alignment. The horizontal alignment is your curves, and horizontal deviations is called as horizontal alignment. In vertical alignment, changes in the gradient and changes in the level of the ground. Requirements of an ideal alignment. So which one you call it as ideal alignment? Ideal alignment, here we are having few points to call it as ideal alignment. So first is an ideal alignment between two stations should offer maximum utility by serving maximum population and products, and also should possesses following requirements. Ideal alignment, when you call it, is the one is which one is ideal alignment means when between the two stations should offer maximum utility by serving maximum population, products, and also should possesses following requirements. Then we can call it as an ideal alignment. Means the whatever the road alignment what you are going to propose, that should be very usable. Okay, when you call it is usable, when there is a lot of movement of the vehicles and there is a lot of movement of the population, okay, as well as the products, then it is called as more usable road. Okay, so again there are several factors which influence which defines the ideal alignment. So those are short means the distance is short, the between 2 points we need to have shortest distance. If to give an example for this, one between 2 points, draw one straight line and you can draw one more curved line. Okay, so in you can see that the straight line is having less or shortest distance. This will be, to express this one we must have to have a board here. Anyhow, I will try to convey you to make it to feel whatever I am explaining here now. You can consider between road or a bus stand, our Belgaum city bus stand and the college. Belgaum city bus stand and the college. You can check in the map. If you draw a straight line between these two, that will be the shortest distance. Okay. Now whatever the road is there, that is from bus stand to Chennama to again alignment has been changes to Bogar West, again from Bogar West alignment changes till to the what it is Globe Theatre, then alignment changes to railway station, then alignment changes to this temple, again in Nanavadi gradient alignment changes. Okay, there will be, you can measure the dead distance, that distance will be more. If you just make a dry straight line between these 2 points, that will be the shortest one. Clear? Okay, that is shortest. Short means it is desirable to have short alignment between two stations. A straight path between the two terminals would provide this. Okay. Next, easy. It should be easy to construct and maintain, and the road with minimum problems, and also the alignment should be easy for vehicles to operate with easy gradient and curves. Easy means it should be easy to construction should be easy, maintenance should be maintain the road with the minimum problems, and also the alignment should be easy for vehicle to operate with easy gradient and curves. So to tell it is easy, here we are having 4 things. One is the construction and the maintenance. Our construction cost should be, where construction of that road should be easy, highway, and maintenance of that road should also be low cost. Okay, and alignment should be easy. So alignment, maybe it's horizontal alignment or vertical alignment, those should be easy. If there is more alignment, means to operate the vehicle it will be difficult. Okay, and also easy gradient and curves. Gradient means what you call it is climbing a hill, that is grading, or downward of the hill, that will comes under gradient. So you can feel, you can see that climbing the road with a high steep gradient, it will be very difficult for the vehicles to operate in that area, in that region, isn't it? So that while designing for a highway, we should keep it in mind these four things to make it is easier one. What are the things should be keep in mind? One is construction of that road should be easy, maintenance should be minimum, and the alignment should be proper, and a gradient should also be kept normal, so that vehicle should operate easily. These are the four factors to call it as easier one. Next is safe. It should be safe enough for the construction and maintenance from the viewpoint of stability of natural hill slope, embankment, cut slope. It should be safe for the traffic operation with safe geometric features. It should be safe enough for construction. When we call it as the road is safe, is during the construction it should be safe enough to construct the roads. I think you all have seen this Jamboti road, and that is Chorla Ghat, all those things you have seen, I think so. Okay, there is a how the road it is having one thing is gradient is they have kept nominal. Okay, one side they have kept bit this one, but one easier gradient they have given so that vehicles are operating very easily. Even the Chorla Ghat you can operate easily, but the horizontal curves are more there. So because they can't avoid that such things, because they will have to move the vehicles along the edge of the that hill itself. Okay, so there are very curves, steep curves are there, but the gradient they have kept operable gradient they have kept. To construct such roads, how difficult it would be? Have you thought of that one? To construct such roads, it will be they have taken lot of time, isn't it? Why? Because already the resources not been available at the convenient places. The resources they need to get, and they need to make the things to be level, then they will have to construct. It is very hectic job, constructing the roads on the hilly regions. That is especially, again there it includes heavy trees are there, so they need to chop those trees and make the road level, and they need to keep it in mind the gradient, horizontal gradient as well as vertical gradient, as well as they will have to think it of the safety factor also. Okay, though in safe, the things we should keep in mind is the construction of that road should be easier and the maintenance should be low, and the stability of natural hill slopes. So such things will occur only in the natural hill slopes only. Okay, embankment and cut slope, it should be safe for the traffic operation with safe geometric features. So these are the factors we should keep in mind to make the road should be safe enough. Next is economical. The road alignment should be considered economical only if the total cost, including the initial cost, maintenance cost, and VOC is lowest. VOC means vehicle operation cost. Because the VOC we should keep it in mind. VOC should take a very we should give a priority for the VOC, because once you are constructing the road and you are maintaining that road, but vehicles VOC, that vehicle operation cost, that it is going to each and every vehicles, so that we should keep in mind, so that it should be economical one. When it is economical one, when construction initial cost, maintenance of that road, and the vehicle operation cost, these three factors should be kept lowest. Okay, for that what they are doing the recondition survey. They are checking with a trial and error, with the problem with the models, or with the with calculations, all those things they are doing the trial and error before going for the final one. So, and they are checking which one is having the lowest in the vehicle operation cost, maintenance, and the initial cost. Then only then final one plan will be approved, and then execution has been started. Okay, you have clear here what here clear here the factors, four factors, what are they to make the ideal alignment. One is the shortest distance between the two obligatory points, the route should be the shortest one. And second point is easy, safe, economical. Easy for the construction, maintenance, and alignment, that is horizontal as well as vertical alignment. And in safe, again there are points safe enough for the construction and stability, as well as embankment, cut slopes, it should be keep it in mind. And economical, again the construction cost, initial cost, maintenance, and a vehicle operation cost should be kept minimum. Then we can call it as an ideal alignment. Okay, these are the requirements of an ideal alignment of the road. Now we'll move to the factors controlling the alignment of the road. The various factors which control the highway alignment are obligatory points, traffic, geometric design, economics, other considerations. Factors which are controlling the alignment of the road. There are various factors. One is obligatory points, traffic, geometric design, economics, and other consideration. These are the points which control the highway alignment. And also in hilly roads, additional care has to be given for stability, drainage purpose, geometric standard of the hill road, and resisting length. These are the factors. We'll study one by one here what are those things. Clear here the factors which control the alignment of the road. In previously what we studied, the requirement of the ideal alignment. Okay, what we studied is requirement of an ideal alignment. Now what we are studying, the factors which control the alignment. Okay, these are the factors. We'll study one by one here briefly. One is the obligatory points. So obligatory points are you have studied in survey also. Obligatory points, you can call it as a control points. Obligatory points means it is a control points. It's a control points governing the alignment of the highways. These control points may be divided broadly into two categories. The points through which the alignment is to pass. The point through which alignment is to pass. This may cause the alignment to often deviate from the shortest or easiest path. This may cause the alignment to often deviate from the shortest or easiest path. The various examples of this category may be bridge site, intermediate town, or a mountain pass or quarry. This may cause the alignment to often deviate from the shortest or easiest path. In the requirement of the ideal alignment, we have studied the road should be the shortest. Okay, same thing here. Alignment should be deviate from the shortest or easiest path. Okay, when there are cases are there, in such cases how to go with this shortest length, that we'll study. In the case 1, when it is necessary to cross hill range, mountains, the various alternatives are to cut a tunnel or to go around the hill. The suitability depends upon many factors like site condition, topography, cost consideration, etc. We have studied in the requirement of the alignment, ideal alignment, the shortest distance. Shortest distance means you take any 2 points, between these 2 points the route should be the shortest one, then it is called as a shortest. Okay, here there are cases are there when there is a cases of first case when there is hilly region. There are two possibilities. One is to make a tunnel between these 2 points to make it as a short. Otherwise you can provide you can make along the edges of the hill to cut it and make it as one small, and also this depends upon the cost of construction. Based on the budget we can decide the how the road should be provided. Okay, here you can see in a figure point A and a point B. Point A and point B. Here we are having 330, 330, 300, 330, 360. What are those? These are the counter lines. What are those? These are counter lines. What is counter lines? Counter lines or a counter means it is a point of elevation. It is a point of elevation, is the point of known elevation. In counter line means it is a point of known elevation. It is a line of known elevation is called counter line. Okay, here the level is 300, 330, 360 means it is a hill itself, isn't it? Hill itself. Okay, between point A and B the level has been changing from 300 to around 360, 380. It is crosses to 380. There is a dot line, that imaginary line, that is proposed construction road between the A and B point. But the road how they have given from A to C and B, correct, from A to C and B. Why? It is based on the as much as they are making the shortest distance. Okay, as much as possible, with the consideration of the budget, with the consideration of the cuts, with the all those things, by considering these things they are making this one shortest one. But the shortest will be what? A and B, but it is an imaginary line they are drawn. If you want to do that, there will be again from 300 RL they will have to reach 380, then again to the 300, 330. Okay, alignment will be there, so that there has been alignment has been changing here, direction of the road has been changing. Okay, and making it possible to shortest one. In case 2, due to position of the bridge, the alignment deviate from CD to CFD because the bridge are constructed at narrow gap and where the intensity of water force is low. Okay. Here between the points A and between the point C and D, here you can see the imaginary line, dotted line, imaginary line between C and D. If you draw it, that will be the shortest one. Okay, here because of the river is flowing, we will have to provide the bridge. Okay, to pass through that one, pass through the bridge, we will have to provide the bridge. So where you are going to provide the bridge? To provide the bridge, we should keep it in mind the bridge, whatever the length of the bridge should be perpendicular to the flow of the water. The bridge what their construction should be perpendicular to the flow of the water. In such places only you will have to construct the bridges, as well as by keeping in mind the narrower width of the this river, so that it will take lesser span length. Okay, so by keeping in mind they have taken at the length of alignment of the road at C, F and D. Clear? When in the third case, When connecting a road network between two stations, it always beneficial to provide a link road or to connect the proposed alignment through nearby station. Here the case is third case. When connecting a road network between two stations, it is always beneficial to provide a link road or to connect the proposed alignment through nearby station. Here this is the third case, means 2 points are the A and B. Between that one station is there. So you can draw a imaginary. Here the imaginary line has been provided, that is proposed one. But at point E or at point C, there is one station is there. Okay. So however you are moving, you will have to, if you are going to join to that station, again the utility is going to be increased because of that station, because the vehicles are going to move on that station, means again the peoples are going to use such roads, so that utility is going to be increased. So this is also the one case. The alignment is requirement of the factors influencing the alignment of the roads. Here there is no obstruction, nothing at all, but due to the presence of station between the 2 points, they will have to connect the road to that station point. Next case, points through which the alignment should not pass. Here it is different. It is also one different case here. It is also make it necessary to deviate from the proposed shortest alignment. The obligatory points, which includes religious places like temples, church, mosque, and a grave, very costly structure, unsuitable lands like lakes, ponds, and marshy soil. During your between two points, that you can take the point A and point B. Between these 2 points, if any obstruction like lake, pond, or temples, church, like religious places like temple, church, mosque, and any grave, these structure you can't remove. Okay, these structures and your points, and also you can't remove. So in such cases, we will have to change the direction of the road. We will have to change the alignment of the road so that you can cross over it. This is also one factor. Next is the traffic. The alignment should be kept in such a way that destination study should be carried out in an area and the desired lines are to be drawn showing the traffic flow. The new alignment should keep in view of the desired lines, flow pattern, and the future trends. Our alignment should be designed such a way that there will be more traffic flow on that road. Next is the geometric design. Geometric design factors such as gradient, radius of curve, side distance, overtaking side distance, rolling gradient on hilly region also would govern the final alignment of the highway. In geometric design means there are again various factors are going to come here, that is gradient of the road, radius of the curve, side distance, again side distance, it is stopping side distance, overtaking side distance, then rolling gradient of the hill region. These are the factors are there. And also the next factor is economics. The alignment finalized based on the above factors should be economical compared to the other alignment. Safety, saving, returns should be more compared to the investment. It is based on the initial cost of the construction and the maintenance cost of the road. If it is shortest path, the cost of construction will be reduced. Decision is based on the quantity of cutting and filling of the earth. Here the factor is economics. Economic means when the things are economic, cost of construction is low, cost of construction maintenance is low, and the output, whatever the benefit from that is more. Okay, benefit from that is more, then you can call it as an economical one. Okay, so we when compared to this road system, the when the cost of the construction is low, when the distance between the 2 points is shortest, then the obviously the cost of construction is lower. Okay, one thing. And also the maintenance of that road, maintenance should be also been kept low, and usage or utility of that should be kept high, so that we can earn more. And also that cost of construction depends upon the quantity of cutting and filling. That again depends upon what? The gradient or gradient of the road, or RL of the roads, gradient of the road. And other considerations like drainage consideration, hydrological factors, water table, sea phase flow, high flood level, political consideration, and the monotony also affecting deciding the alignment. Apart from these above factors, there are again some other factors are there, that is drainage, hydrological factor, water table, seepage flow. So these also to be considered while designing the road system. Clear here what we studied here? Factors controlling the alignment. One is obligatory points, traffic, geometric design, economics, and other considerations. These are the 5 major points which are going to be influencing on design of the highway alignment. Clear so far? Okay. We'll meet in the next class. We'll study the various things, that is engineering survey for highway locations. Please, if you are having any difficulty in understanding or anything, please feel free to ask the questions to me. Okay, if you are having any doubt or difficulty, please feel free to ask me. Okay, and one more thing is I will give the notes to you people. First module notes I will circulate in the Moodle itself. You can go through that one. Okay, thank you.